just like that. And there you have it. Tire pressure light right here, when you initially turn it on, flashes, and then it stays solid. So the way this system is supposed to work is it's supposed to warn you when you have a low tire pressure. Something they started back in 2007 or so. So as you're driving down the road, all of a sudden you lose pressure, the light comes on, lets you know, hey, you're low on tire pressure. Pull over, check it, correct it, repair the tire, and carry on with your business. And the reason they did that is because a underinflated tire is more likely to have a blowout and will consume more fuel when driving down the road compared to a properly inflated tires. So just another sensor module, more stuff to add to the car to complicate them even more. So this does not affect the performance of the vehicle in any way. It just simply tells you when you're low on tire pressure. That's all this system does. So I've hooked up the OBD2 cable to the tool we're going to be using. We're using the MaxiTPMS, which is right over here. We're going to scan the MaxiTPMS TS508 is what we'll be using here today. And I already turned it on and everything. What we're going to be doing is we're going to be scanning all sensors, seeing which one is bad. Multiple ones are bad, I'm not sure. The sensors, by the way, are right here. These valve stems are actual sensors, the sensors on the inside part of the rim. And at about 5 to 7 years, they start giving issues because the battery starts to wear out on them, so they quit transmitting. And this vehicle is right at that mark. We're gonna go ahead and use the tool, and we're gonna go through each individual tire and see which one is working, which one is not. And to do that, we're gonna go ahead and go to advanced mode, Toyota Corolla, and that's right. Okay. So we're gonna go to TPMS diagnose, which is that first one. We can program, position, relearn, and we got number 4, which is information. So we're gonna go to diagnose, clear previous data from the tool, yes. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and go start at this front driver side and start scanning these individual sensors. All right, so we've scanned the vehicle, and the front driver side is definitely not picking up. So we're gonna go ahead and connect to the OBD port, reading DTCs, and we have a C2121 transmitter ID 1 not received. So we definitely have an issue with that sensor, is not transmitting. Therefore we're going to have to replace it. I'm not sure which one was the one that they allegedly replaced. I want to say she said something about one of the front ones. I don't know which one it is exactly. This one though looks like it has been repaired. I see like a little patch thing here, so maybe this is the one that they replaced because the valve stem is different than the other 3. So I'm thinking it was just a coincidence that one failed right after the other. After they damaged one failed. So that comes down to what I was saying earlier, that once these cars get of certain age, they just start going bad. So my recommendation is, I think they already changed the 1. My recommendation is let's go ahead and change the other 3. They may or may not go for it, I'm not sure. I'll have to pitch it to them, see what they want to do. and we'll get back with you for the repair side of this if it does in fact get approved. If not, at least you already know what the system is, what it's supposed to do, how do you check them, and using a tool and so forth and so forth. So let me go ahead and give them a call and see what they want to do. I'll be back. Went ahead and got approval to replace the one sensor. Okay, so they opted to go with the one sensor for now, and then they're just gonna play it by ear and see what happens, how long the other ones last. So they may last a while, they may not, I don't know. It's just, you know, it's just their discretion. That's what they decided to do, and don't blame them at all. So what we're gonna do is to do this is not a really crazy thing. It's just you gotta program everything afterwards. So we're gonna start off by just removing. These are some of the tools I'm going to be using. I got the new sensor over there. I got the ratchet and socket to remove this valve stem, some silicone spray, my air chuck, and my bead breaking tools here. We got this the bead breaker, or bead buster I should say, the XB452, and this one I forgot what this was. I don't know what it was called, but anyways, it's a bead breaker. I'm gonna try using this one first just because it's a quick you know, shock and all. You just hit it, whack it a few times, and hopefully the bead will break. I've used it before. So if not, then I'm gonna have to come with the big guns and use the bead buster. That's a little bit more robust. This takes a little bit more time to set up than the other one, but no big deal. So oops, I lost the valve stem here, the Schrader valve. That is annoying. So these sensors, they come with you can get them with either or, the rubber stem or the metal stem. Most vehicles come with a metal stem, like Toyotas, Hondas and such. Every now and then you're gonna run with the rubber ones, like I think Ford likes to use these rubber ones. I like to put whatever the car comes with just to keep it looking original. So no big deal. What I do like about these sensors, these are the Autel One sensors. They can be interchanged. So all you have to do is press this button here and separate the stem, and then you can use whichever stem you need to use for your application. So this one right here has a rubber seal, and it just kind of screws on there, and bada bing bada boom, you're done. And then you connect your sensor. So without further ado, let's go ahead and try to break this bead. The tire is without air. We're just gonna come over here, we're gonna whack this a couple times, try to stick it in there as deep as possible. Okay, that's not working. So we're gonna have to go with the big guns here. This is a lot easier if you actually have the big machine like they do at the tire shops, but we don't have it. All right. And now we tighten here, and this is gonna force the bead down just like that. Okay. Now I like to put it close to this here because this is gonna, oh, it's already all the way down, because this is gonna help us to hold that bead out of the way. All right, and as you can see, there is the sensor right there. Okay, so we're just gonna go ahead and replace that there. Let me get a pry bar so I can go ahead and force this down on this side and give me some more room so I can work there. All right, so this is gonna be an 11 millimeter. We're just gonna loosen this up. That is loose. There's a little washer here. Okay, and now I can force this out of here. Just like that. And there you have it. Alright, here's the sensor. Alright, so we're back. This is gonna be the ID right here. It's gonna be this number 8319FF5. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna program the new sensor with that same ID. It doesn't have to be that way, but that's what I'm gonna do. So I got my tool here. I'm gonna go ahead and go into the program sensor section. Okay, we're gonna put manual input, and we're gonna type in 8FF5. Make sure 8319FF5. Bingo. Do you want to save and continue? Yes. All right. So we follow the instructions. Keep program sensor within 10. We're gonna go ahead and put it right in here, this little cubby hole, and it says it's programming. Program successful. There you go. So we'll throw that over there. We got our program sensor. Press any key to continue. Now, just for the heck of it, I want to go ahead and scan a single sensor. Pull this toward. Let's see if it reads. There you go. It's reading with the same number. So there we have it. It's programmed. Now, after we finish this repair, we're gonna go ahead and do a position relearn so that all the sensors are where they need to be. There we go. So it's in there. Just gotta put in the washer, a little nut, you just want to make sure we got a good seal going on in there. There we go. And then we just back up on this, and now because we're not moving the tire from its position or anything like that, balancing should not be necessary at this moment. So that's why I like doing it this way. You don't have to remove the whole tire. Try to seat that a little bit there so it can build up pressure. There we go. And it should pop here in a second. Boom, there we go. And that's all that's required. We put the little cap on and our sensor is in. You could do is you could spray a little bit of soapy water there, make sure there's no leak. Let's go ahead and do that now. Beautiful. No leaking observed. All right, so there you have it, guys. Now we're not done yet. I'm gonna mount the tire. I'm gonna top it off with oil, and then I'm gonna get it off the lift so we can do the final step here. Okay, so stay tuned. Anyways, I just want to make sure that everything is learned properly, so I'm gonna start from the very beginning. We're gonna go ahead and scan each tire and then make sure everything's programmed correctly, which I'm sure it is because the light went out. So starting with this tire, see, that's how it should be. It should pick it up immediately. You shouldn't have to wait too long for it to pick up. If you have to wait for a while to pick up the signal, that means that the battery's probably weak and it needs to be replaced anyways. So this right here was the one that we replaced. Immediately picked it up. All right, so as you can see there, everything is matching as it should. So we are good to go. And if we were to go here, oops, this is the one that we replaced. It should match that the rear 8119 FF5. So there you have it. There you have it. And that concludes this repair. Obviously, you would have to drive it just to make sure. And which I guess just me moving it in and out of here, it was enough to go ahead and clear the light. So we're just going to turn this off, disconnect it. Okay, shutting down. Unplug this. Turn off, turn on, ignition, and wait for the light to go out, and there it is off. So repair complete. Happy customer. Thank you guys for watching. Please like and subscribe, and we'll catch you on the next video. Ciao.